Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about Conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about whatever it is we want to talk about. And today, my very special guest is Dr. B, Dr. Adam Baptiste. Yes, he is a real doctor, an MD doctor. And so we are going to talk about strengthening the connection with our natural self. And self is spelled CELLF. And he'll tell us why self is spelled CELLF in just a little bit. But before I bring on Dr. B, I want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know in the comments. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube, and we fully expect to hear from you. We want your comments. We want your questions. This is an opportunity for us to engage with one another, safe space. And so let's do it. Let's do it. I see Mama Yata, whoop whoop, Tallahassee on the live. I appreciate you so much, my sister, for joining us tonight. Please tag a friend, share, let them know they need to be on here because this promises to be an insightful, intellectual conversation, but a real conversation because Dr. B, you know, he is going to bring it. Yes. Love you too. Thank you so much. I also have Tracy, and I call her my Irish. She is here from Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Y'all to say yes, she sent it out already. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. So we are gonna get into it in just a minute, but before we do, I want to read a little bit about this wonderful brother. I mean, he has a lot on his bio, so y'all bear with me. So Dr. B, Baba Atum Adam Baptiste, MD, is a family-oriented man, a physician, researcher, educator, doula, which I think is absolutely fantastic, auricular, and I'm probably killing that, so you're going to have to tell me how to pronounce it, acupuncturist, and ecologist. He aims to assist people in practical and beneficial ways, rooted in justice and equity. His interest in health is aimed at correcting disparities for the groups that experience them greatest. He works directly with families, communities, and organizations. He is a two-time graduate and currently works with the Florida State University College of Medicine, and he knows in the house, within the Department of Behavioral Sciences and Social Medicine. Much of his current work there is focused through initiatives that prioritize perinatal mental health and pediatric behavioral health. In his role as the statewide coordinator of the Florida Maternal Mental Health Collaborative, he allies with stakeholders, parents, providers, and researchers to improve the context of perinatal mental health care. Through the Florida Maternal Mental Health Collaborative and the Florida Behavioral Health Impact Program, Dr. B and his team he collaborates with aim to promote awareness and build the capacity of healthcare providers to address the critical gaps in the care of our nation's women, children, and their families. As an educator, his mission is to train and inspire the next generation of health professionals and community workers. I love that. He strives to include and improve paternal involvement and perspective in this space, ultimately working toward holistic mental behavioral health practices to be implemented for families. Although based in Florida, his efforts are for the work he engages to contribute to socio-political change, not only locally, but also at state, national, and international levels. Y'all help me welcome Dr. B.
Love and respect, everybody.
Greetings, Dr. B. What's going on?
It's Wellness Wednesday. What's going on, everybody? We channeling our highest vibration tonight.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
indeed.
Yes. So glad to have you here. So y'all, Dr. B was on with us, I believe, last June,
Yes.
during Men's Health Month, talking about becoming Baba. So if you missed that one, you definitely have to roll it back and go back and check it out. So he was dropping many gems on that live. So, before I acknowledge some more folks, I want to hear from you. In my customary fashion is to ask, who is Dr. B? Adam Baptiste,
hmm
but who are you?
Hmm. Well, I give reverence and respect to my ancestors and my elders, especially to Godfrey Stephen Baptiste and Nancy Privat Baptiste, whose divine union produced my physical being. I'm thankful that I'm able to use my physical being and my spiritual essence and being to produce thought and sound, to be here sharing space and time with you all, to be able to activate the natural consciousness of self and understanding that I am, that I am, that I am is within me, that I am indigenous, aboriginal, and melanoid, that I am earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, space, and time, that I am, that I am. Yes, I am all that is, has been, and will be. I am divine. I am the fruit bearing seed of powerful and infinite ancestral trees whose roots have fed, supplied, and nourished me with the miracle and opportunity of life. And
Hmm.
I accept the opportunity of living. I respect it. I activate and accept the responsibility by responding with my full ability to be a man and claim my manhood. And so, in that essence, I will emanate truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, harmony, order, and balance, the principles and tenets of Ma'at, which we will definitely get into. But I'm thankful once again, I am that I am, and I am a beautiful being, a self that is collectively living life fully.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So we do have a few more folks that have joined us. Brother Dilbert Floyd, who I call Rattler because he is a Rattler from Miramar, Florida.
Come
Also, my,
through.
my sister Leslie. Happy
Hey,
New
happy
Year.
New Year.
Yeah, she is
In 2024.
midway, and my mom is tuning in from Miami. Thank you for being here, Mom. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
All right, and we got Dr. Aon from Jacksonville. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. All right, so let's dive in. We are talking about strengthening the connection with our natural self, and we're
Mhm.
spelling self CELLF. So
Mhm.
tell us about what self is.
So, where we definitely need to start back is, in the community, I'm known as Baba Atum, and Atum is going back to ancient Kemet and this principle of that which is unseen,
Hmm.
right? And as we consider that which is unseen, we understand that when we're experiencing this thing called life, there are many things that we cannot see with our eyes, many things that we can't even hear with our ears or touch, taste, feel, etc. We can't use our senses to experience them, but they are there and
Hmm.
ever present. And so when we talk about that which is unseen, most often we can get it down into its elemental terms and or to the particles, right? The life essence, the energy that life is. And so I want to start there when it comes to the energetic aspect of what life is and what this reality is, because to be connected to your natural self, you must remember that you are oxygen, you are hydrogen, you
Mm-hmm.
are earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, space, and time, right? And that water element is really what we see as the most powerful element when it comes to life itself, because you, as a human being, are majority water. Like H2O is what you've always known. You were born in it, you were born from it, and we absolutely need it to continue to be being in this form. And so we give our reverence to water in this moment, and help it and help want to help use it to ground us. And so water is not just the water you drink, but it's also the water that you breathe. So if you all don't mind taking a quick moment to take a deep breath in,
Mm.
breathe in that water and breathe it out as well. Breathe it in and breathe it out as well, because it is a endless cycle, as we share water with the universe, as we share water with our earth here, and with ourselves. And so coming to that, and from that base of elemental energy, meaning the water, the elements, that the energy that's between hydrogen and oxygen,
Mm.
between carbon and nitrogen, these components that make all things that we know in this known universe. We recognize that we're made from those
Yeah.
elements and from those parts. And so that's why we have to consume food, consume air, consume water, to make sure that we have a effortless cycle of being, consistently living and exchanging with our universe, so that we can actually get to the thing that we call self, which is a consciousness. Okay. I'm gonna take a moment to let that simmer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So y'all simmer on that for a minute.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
And so, when we think about self, I spell self CELLF instead of the traditional English SELL or SELF, because spelling it that way, I mean, when you look at it, you can see the word cell in there, right? And so it brings me back again to that basic building block of life, of our life form, which is a cell, right? We see these, after you build upon the atoms and you make the DNA and you make the proteins, they start collecting into these things called cells.
Mm-hmm.
And the cells that make up our eyes, our nose, our stomach, our intestines, our all of our body parts, these cells have to work together, right? Uh, they work together in a way that allows us to breathe, move, dance, sing, think, all of these aspects of what we're capable of as human beings. And so
Mm-hmm.
it reminds me again that I have a responsibility to myself, to my individual self, to my tiny trillions upon trillions of cells, to my
Mm-hmm.
collective self, my community self, the self that is outside of me, my mother and father, my brothers, my sisters, my community family, my Wellness Wednesday faithfuls, my emotional self, my
Yes.
father self, my mother self that's within me, my alchemical self, my energetic self. There's so many different aspects of self, and so many
Yeah.
layers. But that's why we spell it that way, and that's why we understand, again, when it comes to the natural self, it's just basic principles of saying, I am that I am. I'm a part of this earth, and I give reverence to the water within me. I give reverence to the carbon within me. I
Mm.
give reverence to who I have been and who I will be.
Indeed. Oh. So we got a few more folks that have joined us. Sister Omatola, who is here in Tallahassee, she says peace. And Mama Audrey Lewis, she says yes.
All
All right.
right.
Yeah, she's here in Tallahassee as well. So
Yeah.
Ashe, I believe.
I say, oh, let's channel the vibration.
Yes, 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 yes. So, you're talking very kind of biologically from a, element standpoint. Um and I definitely want you to, you're gonna explain is um, the acronym for self. But we probably on a daily, most of us, I don't think really realize the makeup of ourselves in terms of us being water and hydrogen and that sort of
Mhm.
thing. The impact that the things that we consume have on these bodily this house that we
Mhm.
our minds, our spirits are housed in these bodies, right? And so if you can somehow interweave in the conversation, how the impact that the things that we consume have on these structures that we are walking around with. I know
Yes.
that's a lot. That's deep. I know
No,
we
yeah, it's right on time though, and I want to make sure that we also remind ourselves that it's a deeply spiritual conversation,
don't.
because I might be talking about these elements, but that's just one way of looking at it. And because at the end of the day, we're talking about energy,
Hmm.
and this is the energy that comes from the sun. This is the energy that's within the earth. The energy that is within you has been the energy that has been being and will continue to be being.
Hmm.
The reality is that we are spiritual beings, having a human experience.
Hmm.
And so our spirituality is when we learn how to really tap into that awareness that we are energy that has been divinely ordained for this life experience.
Yes.
So we thank the Most High for collecting us in these bodies, and giving us the opportunity to live life in this way, to experience it in this way. And when we look at energy, energy can be put into very simple terms. It can be understood in many different ways. One way that we'll look at it in this moment, and please, y'all chime in the chat, talk with us, and had to be a part of this conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, when they talk about your energy or they talk about you transcending through life, they talk about your higher self and your lower self, right? A
Mm-hmm.
higher energy and a lower energy, high vibration, low vibration.
Yeah.
These elements experience high vibration, low vibration, high frequency, low frequency as well. And so
Mm-hmm.
for us as beings, we know that you can increase the vibration within you, the life force within you, the energy that's within you, so that you can be at a quote unquote higher state or higher vibrational state, higher living in a good vibe, right? A positive vibe. And so when I think about being in my higher self, in my higher form, it's not to say that it is absent or void of my lower self. It
Mm.
includes that. I understand who I am. I understand my higher self is aspect of my lower self. It's still the same energy that's there, but brought to a different frequency, right? And so through different patterns, like the food that you eat. What's the pattern of the food that you eat? Do you eat breakfast every day? Do you eat dinner every day?
Mm.
What kind of food do you eat every day? Do you eat plants? Um, do you eat non-food, right? Candies and things like this. Do you eat um, chicken, beef, etc.? Any kind of food that or things that we consider as food, or food that we put into our mouths
Mm-hmm.
and consume it, right? But we have to think about food in different forms. Spiritual food, right? What are the prayers that you have? What are the rituals that you practice? What songs do you sing? What dances do you dance?
Mm-hmm.
What affirmations do you chant to yourself? Uh,
Mm.
these are the ways that you can connect with your natural self, that you can channel a higher vibration, or channel a lower vibration.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So that which we consume, not only in terms of what we take in from eating and drinking, but what we observe through our eyesight or our eye gate,
Mhm.
ear gate, all of those things have an impact.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. When you said that, it reminds me of the Spirit's Gate, which earlier you mentioned. Auricular acupuncture is something that I practice, and Shen Men, or the spiritual gate, is a point that's in your ear, um, and within the Shen Men space, you can access a the spirit to
mhm,
allow for healing to occur, to allow for the restoration of the energetic flow that is within your body. And so, yes, you gotta be aware of what you are consuming, or what you are, if it's not actively consuming, what you're subconsciously consuming, right? What do you allow through your eye gate? What do you allow? Yeah, what we feed our minds. Come on, Tanisha, you know what we're talking about.
mhm.
See? And so it's a full, it's operating in that awareness of, okay, I've got a responsibility to myself. I've got a responsibility not to consume too much garbage, so
Mhm.
that I don't fill myself with garbage and become toxic,
Yeah.
right? Hmm.
Mhm. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, and I'm anxious. Look, I'm ready to get on to what you told me this acronym is. So,
Okay,
all
okay.
right, all right. So, self is collective energy, living life fully. Tell us
Mhm.
what that means to you.
So, collective energy, living life fully. And this is just one of the acronyms we use when we talk about self. But when we think about it, again, just bringing back the awareness that our self is much more than just the cells that make up your body.
Mm,
You have your quote unquote individual self, but you also have your community self, your collective self. You have your emotional self, right? You
mhm,
have your spiritual self. You have the physical self, the different components that make up who you are, because we have subscribed ourselves to these predominantly European views of how we should see ourselves, or what we think about ourselves, how we should be ourselves. And it's always known that you are both your mother and father. At the very least, you got two components of yourself. You've got your masculine self and you've got your feminine self. It's
mm,
always there. It's always there. And so we know that we're more than one being, quote unquote,
mm.
more than one self. And so when we think about that collective ashe, when we think about that collective union of our energy and understanding ourselves, we're living life fully when we operate with that consciousness. We live life fully when we say, oh, I pay homage to the divine masculine and divine feminine within me. I pay homage to my spirit. I pay homage to my individual self, to my physical being, and my physical self. I pay homage to these things, and to these aspects of who I am. And
Mm,
so paying homage is as simple as speaking gratitude upon yourself in the multiple aspects of yourself, saying thank you. Thank you to your cells. Thank you
yeah.
to your feet. Thank you to your eyes. Thankful to your teeth. Thankful. Like, when's the last time that you said a word of gratitude to your teeth, right? When's the last time you gave a word of gratitude to your lips, to your neck that holds your head up every day, right?
Mm,
We got to give thanks to our body and to our being. We got to give thanks to the spirit that's within us, even when it's confused, or even when we're not aligned with it, right?
mm,
When we don't understand what is really happening within our spirit. These are the quote unquote mental illnesses that come around, is when we're out of tune and union with ourselves.
mm,
Is why we're talking about strengthening this connection with our natural self, because we're seeing epidemic proportions of disease, especially mental illness, quote unquote,
yes.
and it's in spiritual illness, right? We have to remember how to channel a higher vibration simply by drinking water and speaking gratitude.
Mm.
Hmm. It's just that simple, family. I tell you no lie. It's just that simple. But we have to get into the practice of it.
So, Iris, thank you for being here. She said, being thankful for everything we usually take for granted.
Hmm. That's a
Indeed.
tough one right there to do, because
Mm-hmm.
we go through life just robotically and systematically. Sometimes we get into these patterns of wake up, go to work, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, maybe work out, go to sleep, make up, do nothing, feel bad about life, go to sleep. You get into these different habits and patterns, but when you interrupt that pattern by saying, "Oh no, I'm gonna go outside and I'm going to actually feel the sun on my skin. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to actually stare into a flower and
Mm-hmm.
see the brilliance, the divinity that's within that. I'm going to observe an ant today and be thankful that it is existing. I'm
Indeed.
going to, it's simple thing. I'm going to feel the wind and be thankful for the wind. We
Mm-hmm.
we into this cold season, just being thankful that you can feel cold, right? That you can feel cold, that you can also feel warm. Because when you lose those senses and abilities to perceive what's happening in the environment, that's usually when you take it for granted until you lose them. But
Indeed.
we got people and family probably in this room. I know we got people in our family that have experienced a stroke, that have experienced maybe a coma or have lost consciousness. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have to recognize that it's again upon us, upon our collective and communal self, but also within our individual selves to give thanks and practice habits, behaviors that will allow us to be grateful, full of gratitude, and praise the abilities that we have had, and that we will have and grow.
So we have a few comments I want to draw to our
Please.
attention. Leslie, she says, "What is collective energy, and how do I get it to create a positive atmosphere for me?"
Shay. Okay. So one of the most potent and powerful ways of cultivating a positive atmosphere for yourself is recognizing, like really sitting with you and recognizing how you feel, right? Like most of us are sitting in this position right now. Some of us need to stand up, need to walk, might need to lay down, might need to do some jumping jacks, might need to do something, move.
Mm.
But feel your body. Do you feel the pain in your back? Do you feel tired or fatigued? When you start to tune into how you actually feel, then you can make the decision of what to do next. But if you're not tapped into you, you don't know what you're going to do next or what to do next or how to create a positive atmosphere for yourself. So
Mhm.
it's really learning how to sit with yourself, minimizing and really neutralizing all distractions. So get rid of the phone, get away from the fluorescent lights, get away from the microwave, whatever the electronics are. Leave those things alone and feel what it feels like to be still with you.
Mm.
The best way to do this is with water, right? And so you can have a simple glass of water, right? And all of our people, most of our folks understand that before we eat, we usually give great gratitude and thanks in the form of prayer. And that's a way that we channel a sonic vibration, channel a mental vibration, a spiritual vibration into the essence of the water. The food has water within it. And most of our food should have a high water content because, again, we high water content beings. And
Mm.
so the more that we hydrate ourselves, the more that we speak positivity into the water that is in and around us, the more that we speak affirmations of gratitude, project on what we want and what we are for ourselves. I want to be positive. Sometimes you got to say it and make it into what your reality is because you have that power as a human being. You can channel your reality. You can
Mm.
do that. And so it's simply saying, I'm going to drink more water.
Mhm.
Truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, harmony, order, and balance into this water.
Mm.
Oh, that's good.
Speak to the water.
Ashe.
Ashe. All right. Dr. A said she just wrote a love letter
Ooh,
to her body on Monday.
that's power. That's power. Look what you done channeled. You
Mm-hmm.
done ricocheted this right on into your being as well. And so thank you. Thank you for giving thanks to yourself.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And Leslie, she says she wants to do that, but she's mentally exhausted.
Hmm.
So what do we do? And I'm a before you answer that, because we
Okay.
are at right about halfway through our conversation. For those of you who are just joining us, I am on with Dr. B, Dr. Adam Baptiste, and we are talking about strengthening the connection of our
Mhm.
natural self with self being spelled CELLF, and we're talking about collective energy, living life fully. And
Mhm.
so let's go back to Leslie. She said oh, that's Jamil.
Mentally exhausted.
Yes, she said she's mentally exhausted. So what what can somebody who is mentally exhausted do to
Mhm.
eliminate some of that mental fatigue and just turn that energy around?
You gotta alleviate yourself, right? That means, which is, it is difficult, but you have to set space for yourself.
Mhm,
You can't expect someone else or another mind to be the one that does it for you.
mhm,
You do have to learn what it is that you like. One thing that I am an avid advocate for is taking baths.
mm,
We forget to do that. At
mm,
some point, we just say, okay, well, I'm a shower for the rest of my life, and forget how important it is for us to submerge our body and our being into water, right?
mm,
To be with water in a way that relieves us, because the buoyancy of the water relieves you physically, right?
mm,
So then it can help mentally, spiritually relieve you, because it does that as well. And so when you're feeling mentally exhausted, make that bath, mama. Make that bath for yourself.
mhm,
Check that energy of, I am exhausted, but this is going to relieve me.
mm,
I love myself. And so I will make this bath a healing bath, a bath that brings revival, a recharge. It energizes me. And so when you put that into your water, and you put little essential oils like eucalyptus or lavender, lemongrass, whatever tickles your fancy, quote unquote,
mhm.
you make it into, you personalize it, get to know
Yes,
yourself, right? You can put pieces of orange slices in there, you could put flowers in there, pick some flowers for yourself and put them into the bath water, and then that energy of you picking the flowers for yourself and doing a kind act for you is with you in the water, and it'll help relieve you mentally. Okay.
yes, 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 yes. All
And
right. She said, thank you. Put down the wine, get some water. Got it.
know it. You know it. You know
All
it.
right. I
Personalize
got
it.
my sister Jamil is on. She said, you have the power to say it until you see it.
Shay,
Yes, yes. Jamil does affirmation. She has an affirmation
you're
um,
bold.
word search book, but she also does affirmations Monday through Friday on the Michael Cork Morning Show on 95.3 FM here in Tallahassee.
That's power.
It
That's
is.
power.
It is.
Hmm.
Right. We got trouble in here. She said, hey, I'm tuned in. Thank you for being here.
Trouble.
All right. Yes. And Marlene, one of my favorite things to do, excuse me, take a hot bath with different Epsom
Come
salts.
on. Epsom salt is crucial.
Mhm.
Why? Because when you got to think about, I'm going to go ahead and say it like this: the water that's coming through your pipe can also be known as soup, okay? Because it has to go through a process of bathing before it actually becomes your bath water. For the most part, unless you want a well water or you collecting rainwater, you getting city water, is AKA shitty water. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And so we have to do what? Channel a different vibration into that water, because the water was not meant for you. The water was not coming to you through energetic fields of gratitude, through song, ritual, and prayer that was meant to heal you and relieve you of mental fatigue and exhaustion. And so you have to channel that into the water before you make your bath. And so be aware of, again, what is your actual reality. Most of the foods that we purchase, or even are available for purchase, are not even foods at all. These are things that are um, man-made, processed, and akin to pharmaceuticals, aka drugs. They
Mm,
make the foods highly addictive through tweaking the sugar content, the salt content. And so we have to do the same, tweak our sugar content, salt content, adjust it. If you
mhm,
know you got a sweet tooth, you got to understand how to keep that at bay and really feed that sweet tooth in a way that you don't have to be ran over by the sweet tooth, right?
mm,
Tend to yourself in that way. The salt content, you got to tweak your salt content.
mm,
Make sure that you have, like we were talking about the Epsom salt in the bath, you got to put a different type of salinity into the bath, or a different salt content into the bath, so that your water that's inside of your body, it it can help with calibrating what is within your system and what is outside of your system. All
mm.
right. So when you put Epsom salt in there, it helps to change the water content that's within your body. Okay, it helps the water to regulate, both on the inside and the outside of your system.
Nice. So we got several comments.
Come through.
Compost community, which I believe is
Hey, hotel, that's Brother Sundiata.
yes, 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 yes.
Yata, Amael in space.
Indeed. City water has been processed with chlorine and chloramine.
It's true.
Hmm. All right. So be mindful of that.
Yes.
We got my sister Cherise, who is in Atlanta. Thank you for joining us.
All right, sister. Welcome.
Yes, Mama Yada. Yes, citrus goes well.
Mhm.
Rosemary too. All right,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Great metal detoxifiers are like cilantro. You
Mm,
know, when it comes to herbs and healing, usually a phrase that's known is the bitter is better, right? The bitter
mm,
is better. And so things that you might taste and have a stringent quality to it,
mhm,
like mugwort, yarrow,
mhm.
cilantro, parsley. These things, when you put them into your water, you put them into your food, you eat them raw or whole. These things have a healing quality and nature about them that is highly effective, and very efficient in doing what they do, which is detoxify, amplify your immune system,
Mhm.
amplify your digestive system, to upregulate them and get them to do what they're supposed to do and designed to do, which is help keep your water clean.
Yes.
Mhm.
Brother Marcus is
Eternal water.
with us, indeed, out of Tampa. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, welcome.
Yes, yes, yes. We got Jiva. Um,
Hey, what's going on, Sister Jiva?
Thank you for being here. And so, Sister Brandy, Matola says, set your intention with water and watch how it manifests.
You better find out.
Mm, mm,
You
mm,
you can
mm.
find out today. Tonight is your night.
Indeed, indeed.
No better day to start.
Yeah,
You
right.
know.
Jamil said, I absolutely love using essential oils for my health, and I encourage my clients to explore them. There are several oils that are natural mood shifters,
Ashe.
stabilizers. Indeed, indeed. All right, so
Ashe.
we got Commissioner Nick Maddox on. He said, do we not drink city water?
You should shy away from it, and you should absolutely have a filter.
Mm,
Um, it's a filter is best because we have to understand our collective self, right? We understand that we have our earth self as well. So we got to be mindful to the energy of the planet and recognize, if I'm drinking 9, 10 water bottles a day, what happens with that plastic, right? So it's best to have a water filter to help reduce the amount of plastic, the burden that we're producing from utilizing these types of products. But the filters also save you money in the long run as well because you can utilize them.
Right.
And so shout out to the chat going off right now. I appreciate y'all. And
Mm.
so a great water filter is the Zero water filter. It's a brand that produces that has that water filter. You also have the Brita and Pure. I find that between the Zero water filter and Brita, I have the best quality of water.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I like to also we will harvest rainwater and throw that through the filter,
Mm.
um, and so but it's you can keep it simple. Get you a regular water filter and run the city water through that. It'll help detoxify or take out some of those impurities that are within the water. But there's all kinds of things that's inside of that city water that you can't see it because it looks clean, quote unquote. But remember, they had to wash your water before it came to you. So what's
Mm.
that really about?
Right.
Mhm.
Let's see. Jamil said, I'm proud of me already for doing a foot soak just last night with Epsom
Come
salt
on.
and lavender.
Yes. Yes. We reflect that. We reflect that for you. High
Indeed.
vibrations.
Indeed. Iris, great conversation. The healing power of water, bathing and versus showering. Great point. Baths invite relaxation, while taking a shower is more about quickness and efficiency.
Shay. And you can get filters for the bath spout as well as for the shower spout.
Mm,
And I encourage y'all to do so. Save up your little pennies. It, don't buy that bottle of wine. Buy you a water filter instead, and
mm,
feel the difference. Feel what the water feels like. Notice how you ain't gonna be as ashy when you come out of that shower or come out of that bath because the water is not gonna be so hard or
wow.
harsh on your system.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. 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 I didn't realize that, but mm,
Mm-hmm.
look, as Commissioner Maddox said, noted.
Ashe.
Yes,
Respect, brother.
indeed. Sundiata, look what happened to our
Come
colleagues
on.
the last 30 years should give an indication as to whether we should drink municipal water or not.
Mm.
Right. All right. So again, no, look into filters and make it happen.
Yes.
Make it happen. All right.
The
Um,
earlier, there's something that I want to like kind of bring it up to our mind and to our attention is like we're talking about practicing gratitude and speaking that in ourself and over our bodies.
mhm.
And another thing is in that you got to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? You really got to be true with yourself. You have to truly know what your emotions are and how you feeling and be honest. Like, are you being rude to yourself? Are you being rude to other people? Are you being snappy?
Mm,
Are you not being in your most high vibration, which is a vibration that encompasses your lower self? It's not without it. It is fully aware of itself. And why we have to be honest is because when we're honest, it's then that we can ID and identify what it is that we might need to release, right? What it is that we might be able to then realize the energy that we're channeling, the energy and vibration that we're emotionally hovering around, or constantly the song and tune that we constantly singing.
mm,
When you do that for yourself, it's then that you will be able to naturally release those things,
mm,
right? Because if you're constantly holding on to something that's making you angry, making you sad, making you frustrated, you're never going to be able to really release that. In nature, like we talking about water, you can change your vibration in water, but the earth can do this for you as well. You can
mm,
kick off those shoes, take them socks off, take the constricting clothes, the bra, the underwear, that stuff. Sometimes it's constantly triggering your body because it's constricting you too much. So you got to get out of those clothes, get into free flowing clothes, get into a space where you can tap into the earth and really feel the nature around you. Right now, we got water outside that's falling from the sky. Feel those raindrops just for a moment, even if it's cold. Be able to step outside of that normal humdrum and silly idea that you can't be free.
So you speaking my language right now because
Mhm.
this time of year is not my favorite.
Mhm.
because of all of the clothes you got to put on.
Mm-hmm.
I listen, I'm a sundress and sandals type of girl. And so
Understood.
all of these layers, oh, it just grieves my body.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. As highly melanated beings, we tend to gravitate towards the warm climate, right? And we tend to experience life in a much more free way just because of the nature of our being. And so we have to recognize again our responsibility to ourselves to get tapped back into the natural flow of how we're supposed to exist, right?
Yes,
And how we're supposed to experience our life. So when you get to the house, come up out them clothes.
yes.
Okay. If you're living with other folk and you don't feel like you can comfortably do that, you got to set space for that, right? That's part of the reason that we talk about set a bath for yourself, because in there you got to come up out of them clothes. You got to be able to release and truly let nature is one of the greatest reservoirs and receivers of energy. And
Mm,
so when you looking for a place to let go of the burdens that you feel, let go of the fear that you have, let go of the anger that you have, give it to the earth. For my
mm,
men folk, one of the greatest practices that have helped me is when I have ever been triggered, um and been feeling like anger, I will go to the earth and let the earth feel my fists. You
mm,
see, I will run it out. I will exercise that energy, and let it out in that way. And you don't always have to do it that way. You can also write you a letter and
mm,
burn it in a fire,
mm,
or you can again pour water and speak it out, right? Just
mm.
saying it, and or this is one of the greatest therapies, is just having somebody who really hears you, really
Yes.
listens to you, practicing impeccable listening, where you're not listening to somebody just to respond, or you're not going and talking to somebody who's not really listening to you. You
Hmm.
got to Sometimes you just got to say it so that you can get it out and off of you. All right.
Yes.
Wherever it is at, it could be back here in your shoulder, on your chest, and your leg, wherever it's at, you got to get it out you.
Gotta get it out you, Mama.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
just
energy should be somewhere.
just be putting on everything because it's so cold. All the things, burr. Yeah. So she
Mhm.
feels me. She's feeling my pain. Uh, Brother Sundiata, feeling overwhelmed. Hug that
Come
tree.
on. That's a real talk, though. Hug
Said
that tree,
the
kiss
tree
that
will take care
flower.
of all of the burden.
Come on, lay
Yeah.
in that grass
Mm-hmm.
and just cry it out if you got to cry it out.
Mm,
Let the sunlight hit you. Whatever you got to do to connect with the earth, and remind yourself that you are connected with the
yes.
earth.
Yes, you are. Yes,
You
you
are.
are.
It's an extension of yourself.
Indeed. Sister Janetta is on with her, who is here. She said, love it. Great info. Thank you for being here. Uh Sundiata, take those
Come
shoes
on.
off, stand in that soil.
Compost community. That's right on brand. That's what we talking about. Staying in that soil.
Right. So definitely some groundwork taking place
Yeah,
there.
and when you think about, like, we we have an electrical nature to
Mm,
to our body and our being. When you talk about a positive and negativity, right? And when you think about the earth, when we say grounding, right? That's what you do with electrical energy and electrical
mm,
signals. It all has to be grounded. Otherwise, it's choo, 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 choo. It goes wherever it wants to go, does whatever it wants to do. And
right.
so when you're feeling frazzled and you feeling like your energy is not grounded,
Mm,
ground yourself.
ground yourself.
Literally go and ground yourself so
Mm,
that you can start that process of
mm,
reestablishing the flow of your energetic being.
yeah. Um I, I don't know if anybody on the live has ever done this, but Dr. Dana Denard and Jay English used to do these burials. And
Hmm.
so I did this one Sunday in November. It's been quite a few years back, but we had to dig our own hole in the ground
Hmm.
such that we were like chest down, buried.
Hmm.
buried in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and stay there for
Mm-hmm.
about an hour or two. Okay, in the ground. The
That's
dirt
powerful.
now packed us in, hands down in the ground.
That's power.
And
Most
I'm
definitely.
standing out there feeling like a flower with the sun shining down on me.
Yes,
But
that's
I
a
came
beautiful practice.
up out of the ground, I felt so refreshed. Like
Mm.
it felt like eucalyptus peppermint. I don't even know how to really fully describe it, but it was such a cool feeling that my body
Mm.
felt for pretty much the remainder of the day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
pretty.
That's what we're talking about. That's grounding. That's
Mhm,
grounding yourself. And
mhm.
that's a powerful practice. You know, in simple terms, some people go to the beach and do it, right?
Yeah,
Um, a great thing to do as well when you go to the beach is like give yourself a sand scrub. Get that sand from the water and start scrubbing your body and yourself.
exfoliate.
One of
So
my mamas gave me this. Yeah, exfoliate yourself and feel yourself anew. Let that water wash you and cleanse you and take care of you
mm,
and really recharge yourself. When you connect with the earth, it is it's everything. It's everything that you are. That's for sure.
mm,
Mhm.
mhm. All right. Cherise said, I love going hiking to connect with nature.
Oh
Yes. Love it.
yes.
Shantavia said, also, we hugging trees. Gotcha. Yes, we hugging trees.
Ashe.
Indeed.
Don't let
Sonia,
the people fool you and pull the quote unquote wool over your eyes and make you think that it's something shameful to do or it's just a hippie thing to do. No, when you go and connect with a tree, even if you were to just hold it, hold your heart and put your hand on the tree and hold
mm,
your heart and connect with it that way and allow the transfer of energy between
mm,
you and the tree, the electrons to flow through, to feel that energy is going to change your vibration.
indeed. Indeed.
Ashe, sweat
Sonia,
lodges.
Sweat Lodge's assistant sweating out all the troubles of the day, the week, the month,
You
etc.
know.
Yes. Um,
Mhm.
Polly asks, what are ways to ground yourself? So, I mean, we've been saying them, Polly.
Yeah,
I hope this has helped, but are there any other ways that you want to mention, Dr. B?
definitely. In the moment, say you're in a conversation that's getting you frustrated or making you feel, like we said earlier, frazzled or um, out of order, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Your breath is one of the most important tools that you have in this life experience.
Yeah.
So taking a full breath, because sometimes we go through life or we're in a situation we're breathing really shallow, our body is hunched over,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not breathing open up. The practice of doing that, the practice of holding the breath.
I thought we was frozen for a minute there.
Nah, Shay, because we slowed down time. You have your I'm Father Time, right?
All
You know
right.
the time. You
Here
have
we
the
go.
power to do that. You can slow time. You can speed it up. You have the authority over
Mm,
your life and your experience. And so when you want to ground yourself, take a breath in. Like we said earlier, you can connect with nature by taking them socks off, feeling the earth, or even just touching the tree with your hand, touching the ground with your hand, carrying a
mm,
piece of anything, a leaf, a
yeah.
flower, whatever it is. That's a good way to help ground yourself. A seashell, a rock,
Mhm.
whatever it is, connecting with the earth mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually is how we ground ourselves. So when we take those breaths in, we are connecting with our mental, emotional, physical self, our spiritual self, and recalibrating ourselves to be our collective energy that's living life fully.
All right. She said thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome, Miss Polly.
Yes, yes. Lakarsha, who's in Pensacola, has joined us. Thank you for being here.
Good evening.
Yes, for sure. Marcus, I felt like that when I used to climb trees and
Come
sit on
on.
branches.
You know, brother Marcus, shout out. That's everybody home. Everybody homework is to bathe and climb a tree. Now you ain't got to get 10 feet off the ground. You can find you a little tree that's 2 inches up off the ground. But let that tree hold you. Even if you just lean on the tree, just lean on it.
Mm,
Reconnect in that way. Because like the brother said, I mean, I haven't stopped climbing trees. And I
mm,
feel it's something when a tree holds you.
Mm,
It's something. The tree ain't gonna drop you. You gonna drop yourself. But when you let that hold you, just like when the earth held you, when you shared with us that submerging your body into the
yes.
earth, right? Just and it's the same way when we submerge our body into water and
Mm,
you let the water hold you. These are ways to help relieve your physical self, your spiritual self, your mental self, your emotional self. You can relieve yourself just by connecting in those types of ways.
indeed. We got Sister Janae. She said, "This is the type of energy I need to invite into my life."
It's
Absolutely.
here.
Yes,
You have done so, Sister Janae.
indeed. Sandiata, smoky quartz assist with
Ashe,
grounding. Okay, wonderful.
come through.
Yes, yes. And Coach Merv is on out of Madison County. He said, always heard about it, but have yet to try it. Since I heard it on the Cole show, I will finally try it, especially the breathing.
Come
Thank,
on, coach. Come
thank
through,
you, Coach
coach.
Merv.
That's what I'm
Wonderful,
talking about.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, Marcus said, breathe in, hold it, breathe out. Yes, that
Yes.
is the exercise. And he said, let the tree
Mhm.
hold me, will do. All
Yeah.
right, good
You,
deal.
you know, I was inspired earlier to remind us of the power in fasting, right? Um, the fasting is not just not eating food,
Mm-hmm,
okay?
mm-hmm,
But usually we talk about that. You hear a lot about intermittent fasting. You hear about um, not eating certain types of foods, like eating all plant based or only eating alkaline foods or only doing a Mediterranean meal plan and fasting from sugar, whatever it is. Fasting is critically important for the body, critically important for the mind,
mm-hmm.
critically important for the spirit. Fasting, again, is not just in the food that you eat. And we already established earlier at the top of the show, food comes in as many forms too. It comes in its mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual forms.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fast sometimes from people, places, and things.
Mm. Hello.
Okay. Sometimes you got to fast from a certain aspect of yourself.
Mm. Hello.
Okay. So if you constantly in your work self and that's driving you to exhaustion and completely deflating your spirit, you're gonna have to fast from that. That's why we go on what vacation, quote unquote. We go holiday so that we can fast from that aspect of ourselves.
Mm.
So recognize what is draining you. And this only comes when you're being honest, when you're actually sitting with yourself. But learn what is draining you, learn what is contributing to your negative or your down pressure,
Mm.
learn what is contributing to your lower vibration or lower frequency so that you can actually be honest about it and create space for that higher vibration, create space for positivity, create space for you to really be in your most divine form, which is your collective energy living life fully.
Yes. All right, Mama Yada. Yes, I love climbing trees as a child. Time to bring it back. Indeed. And Terrell, who I lovingly call Chief, he said, this is good
H-E.
stuff tonight. Taking
Ashe.
lots of notes as I begin my journey of healing and self discovery. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for being here with us, Chief. Janetta, I love deep breathing, my saving grace on a busy day. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Ashe.
Tanisha, that's a word indeed. Lakasha also agreeing. Oh, yes, definitely. And Coach
Mhm.
Merv, totally agree with you about fasting, my brother. Respect. Come through with that knowledge.
This
Yes.
is this knowledge is the knowledge of ourself.
Mm-hmm.
We share this knowledge. This is the knowledge that has been shared with us through our ancestors. This is the knowledge that has been here since been here. It is the knowledge of self is understanding, understanding, overstanding, being fully aware, being complete in your knowledge, practicing it is where the knowledge converts into wisdom.
Mm,
Okay. So if we want to truly be the wise people that we come from, whether it was a generation ago or 100 generations ago, we recognize that it distills itself into divine principles.
mm-hmm.
So we channel that vibration of Ma'at, uh, which is truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, harmony, order, and balance. We channel the vibration of our natural self and our collective energy, living life fully.
Nice. All right. Cherie said yes. Fast from folks that try to invade your
Come
space.
on,
Self, indeed. And
come
we got
on.
Dr. Gian Jones with us here in Tallahassee. She said yes on identifying the cause of low energy.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Sometimes the cause is because you ain't listening to yourself.
Hello.
It's real simple sometimes. Our body starts screaming at us, telling
Mm-hmm.
us all kind of awful going on, telling us that you got bowel problems, you got eye issues, you got different smells on your body and
Mm-hmm.
in your being, no matter how much you done scrubbed your teeth, right? And so you got to recognize what these signals are that are causing that low vibration or that low energy that are causing you to be out of tune with your most divine and natural self.
Yes. Right. Shantavia. One of the best forms of fasting is decluttering the
That's
mind.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Agreed.
I like to say I practice not mindfulness or definitely not mindlessness, but mindfulness. Let your thoughts flow.
Mindfulness.
Don't hold on to them. Let them be what they are and observe them. Take note of them, but don't hold on to them too strongly because when we get held on to something, it start dragging us, right? We
Mm.
don't realize how much it's weighing us down, and we're not free from that idea.
I like that. Mindfulness.
You know
Okay.
it.
I like that. Audrey, I definitely need more connection with energy and vibrations. And that's true. My body calls for detox and cleansing.
Shay.
Yes. We got Miss Kiosha on. She said, funny how fasting allows us to slow down to focus on our mind, body, and spirit.
Shay.
Agreed. Thank you for being here, Kiosha. And Marlene, we are equipped with everything we need. Ooh,
Come on. That's
mm,
a word right there. That's the whole essence of what we talking about.
the whole show
We got
right
everything we
there.
need. We got everything we need.
Yes, but we have got to look within ourselves
Mhm.
and sit with ourselves and listen to ourselves, and not the ourselves that is paranoid and anxious
Come
and
on.
all those things. Like we need to do the grounding piece, especially if
Mhm.
that's what we're experiencing, so that we can clearly hear. All right, Brittany, thank you for being here, Brittany. She said, "I pray about something, and long behold, I log into your show, Brittany. This happens to you so many times." She said, "And God answers my prayers right on time. Won't He do it? Thank you, Lord."
Yes, he
Brittany,
will.
so
Yes.
glad that you're here with us, Brittany. So keep tuning in. Listen, we try to give you some food, some good food for you to
Good
eat.
food.
Okay.
Good
Yes.
food.
Sunday.
And a word on building capacity. I observe Ramadan every
Oh,
year.
yes, yes, yes.
If anybody want to do it collectively, I'm down. Okay, compost community. That's what see.
All
That's that collective self
right.
calling out to us right now. We appreciate you, brother, reaching out in that way. Because the more that we do things collectively as a community, is
Mhm.
the stronger that we will become. We will be able to build our capacity as a people, as individuals, as well as a people. And so you can build your capacity through discipline and practice, like the brother is calling us to do, as well as through conservation and protecting your energy, right? Because one thing about it, and I see this over and over again in our communities, is that people don't advocate for themselves. You'll say yes to everything. You got to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to protect yourself. No matter if it's your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your lover, or yourself, you
Mm,
can be attacked by any one of those beings. And so
indeed.
you got to recognize how to say, okay, well, just because it's this person or it's what I want doesn't make it the best thing for me, or it's not going to be the thing that's going to lead to me being able to detox, lead to me to be able to activate my highest self and my high vibration.
Indeed. All right. Sundi is on and he said, and you don't have to be a Muslim to do it.
That's
Let's go.
right. Come on.
All right. So Cindy, you need to give us the info on it, the dates and what it entails, because some people just don't know. Okay. So we're not gonna take for granted that everybody knows. So send us some info on it and we will definitely share that with the community.
I think that's a very potent and powerful consciousness right there, is understanding that to really be operating within true spirituality, you're
Mm-hmm.
combining your spirit with reality.
Mm-hmm.
You're aware of who you are spiritually, is
Mm-hmm.
not just because you are practicing a particular religion, but it's because you are a principled person
Mm-hmm.
that is consistent in acknowledging the truth, the reality
Yeah.
of what is going on in and around you, whether
Mm-hmm.
it is good, bad, indifferent, ugly, whatever it is. You acknowledge that in truth. And
Yeah.
so being real with your spirit, being real with yourself, that's true spirituality.
Indeed. So we got a question, and just before I put the question up, like, y'all, we are 5 minutes past the hour. So, Dr. B,
But we rolling.
if you can hang tight with us for just a few more moments, we
All
appreciate it.
right.
All right. Marcus, he says, when our appetites crave healthy foods, is that our energy talking to us?
Absolute, absolute. And paying attention to those different cravings, whether they are healthy or unhealthy foods, it's saying something about what's going on
Mm,
internally and around you.
yeah.
Okay. Sometimes we eat crunchy, salty foods because we have a problem expressing our anger, or because we're trying to emotionally deal with something. Okay. And so when we are craving healthy foods, or when our body, like, sometimes you'll bite into something and it just brings this energetic feeling throughout your system. You got to lean into that,
Mm,
and know that, like I said earlier, you got to feed your sweet tooth sometimes. Don't everybody, you don't got to be a monk in order to practice spirituality. You
mm,
don't got to be a priest in order to truly embody your divine spirit. That's not a requirement for you to tap into who you are and be your most high vibration. And
mm,
so don't the reality aspect of really tapping into your spirit and being honest and genuine where you are right now in this space and in this time, that is what's going to help you be on your greatest self and in stride with your highest vibration. When you deny yourself, this is what leads to low vibration. This is what leads to depression. This is what leads to quote unquote cognitive dissonance, and that
yeah.
feeling like things ain't going right for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
So that's, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier in terms of, again, what we are putting in our bodies, and
Hmm.
all of it matters. Jiva, Dr. Jiva,
Come
uh,
on, that's a reminder.
yes, yes. She said we fast nightly when we wake, start the day consuming fresh fruits to set the
Ashe.
with high energy, and then break fast by noon when you eat healthy meals. It's all about timing. Yes,
Thank you for that consciousness, Sister Jiva. That is powerful.
indeed.
And just to harp on that, and to veggie back on that, it's a reminder that we have cycles to this life thing and this
Yep.
life experience.
Mm-hmm.
Day comes, night comes, right? Tide rises and falls.
Yep.
What's hot is going to be cold,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. What's warm going to be cold. So when we think about the flow of energy, we have an energetic being that requires a rising and a falling as well. We
Mm.
got to stand up and we got to lay down. Make
Yeah.
sure you get your body horizontal every day and get that true rest, which is
Right.
unplugging the lights, unplugging the cameras, unplugging the phone, charging
Mm.
the phone outside of your room. Don't use it as your alarm clock. Get you a regular old fashioned alarm clock and use that. Get the TV out of your room. Those things have a energetic frequency that is constantly emitting and is constantly doing this thing, but it
Mm.
does it so fast it looks like it's not blinking. Even the
Mm.
lights that we're looking at right now, these computers are doing this, but it
Mm.
looks like it's steady and simple,
Yeah.
right? That we got to understand the frequency and the vibration that these things are on, so that we don't collude, confuse, and dilute our own frequencies.
Oof.
Um, Thank you, Sister G, for reminding us of the rhythm and flow that we have throughout the day, because it's
Mhm.
not just the rising and fall. We have these circadian rhythms, which is like a 24-hour cycle, but we also have ultradian rhythms and infradian rhythms, these rhythms that are hourly or minute to minute or, at different time points and time cycles. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
respect. Continue
Yeah.
to learn yourself, continue to dive into who you are, lean into who you are, and accept who you are, whether it is a negative vibration or a positive vibration. Be real with yourself so that you can channel the vibration that you actually want for yourself.
Yes. Dr. Jones said, thank you for the veggie back statement. Definitely replacing piggyback with
Respect.
veggies. That was a good one. I peeped that too, Gian.
Shay.
Yes, 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 yes. Listen, we could talk for a whole nother hour.
We could,
So
we could.
I want to give you an opportunity, and I forgot to do this before we got on the live to tell folks how to reach out to you, but you can do that too. But give us some closing
Okay.
comments if you don't mind, and then if folks can reach out to you, let us know how they can reach you.
All right. So thank you. Thank you for sharing space and time with us. I see you. I respect you. I love you. Uh, I'm so thankful in this moment just for the opportunity to share space and time with myself. Remember to breathe. Remember to to drink clean water. Remember to truly accept yourself for who you are and where you are. Not saying that you're going to stay there, but be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself so that you can channel your most high vibration, your most divine frequency. Make the choice because the choice is yours. The choice is yours, what's in and what's out of you, within your mind, within your body, within your spirit, what's outside of your mind, what's outside of your body, what's outside of your spirit. It's your choice. Use nature to help you, assist you, to guide you on this journey through life. This is the gift that has been given to you, the gift of consciousness, the gift of love, gratitude, awareness. Be a person who is in tune with their emotions so that you use them as, again, a compass to get an awareness of how you actually feel and what's actually going on around you. And whether you are truly experiencing something that is making you mad or you're just actually feeling that way and there's nothing actually wrong. So, learning that practice requires that you make a moment and make time to be with yourself and nothing else. I
Hmm.
thank you for this time tonight. If you want to connect with me, my cell phone is 850-583-0828. You can call or text there. We got an email. I'm sure Nicole would drop these things in the chat as well. I don't really be on Instagram, but it's Boukman MD, BOUKMAN MD. I also have, as a way to help the family, we started to develop a hygiene product line because we know that there are these man-made products, there are these chemically laden and chock full of pesticide crap that's out here that we use to clean and cleanse ourselves, and it ain't doing nothing but bringing more toxins into our system. So we've got all natural plant-based options that will help you to channel that divine vibration, help you set that bath, help you to really feel cleansed, clean, rehydrated, and really channel your highest vibration. So all of those things are there on the Balance and Being Etsy website, and we'll continue to connect with you all. We're here for you as a resource, as a consultant, as a guide. It's your brother, Baba Atum.
Yes, love
Respect.
it, love it, love it. Man, this has been woo, this has been really good. Really, really good. If you all have enjoyed this, please let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up or a high five or something. I see a few of you commenting. Janetta, thank you. Audrey, Happy
Yeah,
New
thank you
Year,
for rocking with us tonight.
everyone. Lakasha.
Yeah. And shout out to the we welcoming in 2024. Reminder to the family, the natural new year is gonna be in the spring. So get ready for the true new year, right?
Okay,
Remember our true seasons and our true cycles, because sometimes we get shaded and misdirected with what's actually happening and what's actually going on. But that's for another show, I guess. So,
indeed. That is a whole nother show. Thank you, Gian. Thank you, Jamil. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Tanisha.
hey,
Mom. Thank you, Jiva.
hey,
Thank you, Rudy, all the way in LA.
yes.
Thank you, Trouble.
Come on.
Uh, Gian again. Sharice, thank you so much. We appreciate you all. Thank you,
Okay.
Chief. He said this was the right conversation to start 2024.
Come
And
on.
yes, Omatola, yes, this is awesome. Thank you, Miss Nicole. And you did it again.
Come
Thank
on.
you.
Run with it, family. Run with it. 90% of people who set goals for themselves in the new year, 90% of people who say, I'm going to do things a different way, don't. They
Mm,
don't make it past the first month. They
yeah,
don't make it past the first 10 days. So be the difference in your own life,
be the
and really stay committed to loving and harnessing the divine power that's within you, connecting with your collective energy and live your life fully.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Dr. B. Again, appreciate you. We are definitely looking forward to hearing more from you in the very near future. So you definitely have to come back and drop some more gems for us. All right.
No doubt, no doubt. Love and respect, family. Shout out to the Wellness Wednesday faithfuls. We gonna keep upholding conversations with Nicole, bringing good information, great information to the family, good food that we could really feed on and fast on. Because when you got this in your belly, you don't need much else.
Indeed, indeed. So, for those of you who may be new to the platform, definitely subscribe to Conversations with Nicole on YouTube. We're live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. The focus is on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities. Tonight, we've been talking about strengthening the connection to our natural self, and this has been outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, Dr. B did send me that stuff, so I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. There we go.
And
Y'all
we'll
hold
make sure it's in the description for y'all too.
Yes, I'm going to put it in here real quick, so y'all just bear with me one moment. Again, this is the types of conversations that we need to have to help heal ourselves as well as heal our communities, right? And so
Mhm.
hopefully again you have found this to be beneficial. Please share this with someone that you
Yes,
think will
please.
benefit from it. Let's keep this conversation going
Hmm.
because it's a valuable one and one that is helpful for everybody. I mean, everybody, all of our loved ones, and especially ourselves. So let me see if I can pull that up. Is
There
that
you go. There you go. And when it comes to the products that we make, this is artisan. These things are handcrafted, and so we are bringing you quality products. Again, you got the contact there. So if there's something that we make small batches to control for the quality right now, and we wanted to make sure that the family has an opportunity to really have a product that supports them, that's made with them in mind, especially for the indigenous, aboriginal, highly melanoid being. We got the things that's right for you. Ain't gonna make you feel too, like we said earlier, it ain't gonna be as harsh as that water is on your body, and as harsh as that soap is on your system. Because
mm,
usually when we use those things, we don't realize our skin is screaming out and saying, "Dang, I'm ashy." Right now, you got to go put on a pound of lotion instead of just
right?
putting on some of that body butter. And matter of fact, you don't even need that after some of the soaps that we use, because we got butters inside of the soap that help to retain the oil content and the moisture within your skin.
All right, very good. So Miss Doris is on. She said, "Great
Yeah.
conversation." Mama Yada, thank you so
Thank
much.
y'all. Thank y'all. Much
Yes,
love.
for sure, for sure. All right, good people. We will
So,
see y'all next week. Y'all be safe this weekend, this first week of the year. Yeah, we want to see y'all next week. All right. So thank you again for tuning in, and follow Dr. B and check out his products.
All right. Peace,
Right.
family.